welcome. You're watching Moneycontrol. I'm Sakshi, Batra, and with me is Kshitij. Anand. He's the markets editor at Moneycontrol, and the marathon coverage of elections 2019 is continuing on Moneycontrol. We have been getting you all the top political and market voices through the day, and right now in this show, we are going to be discussing the day's trade, how it went by, and what does it mean for the markets under Modi 2.0 from here. Thanks a lot, Kshitij, for joining in. Well, it has been a historic as well as a really volatile day of trade for markets today. We first saw the Sensex and the Nifty topping in 12,000 and 40,000 in the early trade.
Absolutely.
Whenever we saw the early trends pouring in, suggesting an NDA victory, but towards the close is when we saw them retracing all the gains back and ending in the red. So could you just sum up the entire day's trade for the investors and viewers watching us right now?
Absolutely. Good evening, Sakshi, and good evening, viewers. Well, definitely, it was, as you rightly pointed out, that it was indeed both a historic as well as volatile day for Indian markets. Now, why I say volatile day, because just on Monday or 2 or 3 days back, Sakshi, we saw both benchmark indices witnessing their best day of gains in the past 10 years. And today, what we saw was, the biggest intraday fall in the last 11 years.
Oh, it was a flip again, completely.
Completely flip again. So definitely, that's the kind of volatility I am talking about. But the good news is that India VIX has actually fallen. So, so that's a thumbs up to that, because much of the uncertainty is out of the way. So India VIX has fallen. That's a good news. And why we say historic, because we saw 1,000 point odd rally in the first half of the trading session, which pushed the Sensex above 40,000 mark. And Nifty 50 also, hitting 12,000, or the magical figure of 12,000 early trades.
Yes.
In fact, if I have to really sum it up, then it was, buy on rumors and sell on news kind of a rally. Why we say that is because, on Monday, we saw this monster rally of, 1,400 points on the Sensex.
Absolutely.
And on about 400 points on the Nifty, which suggested that a lot of buying came in. People bought on that rumor that, NDA will be forming the government, or Modi 2.0. And when the news came out today, and it was, made clear in the second half that yes, NDA will be forming the government in the second term, for the second term. Seller news happened, and investors and traders offloaded the positions, and that's a healthy sign. Why we say that is because yes, valuations do look slightly on the higher side, so definitely any kind of dip is still a buying opportunity.
Absolutely, any kind of a dip is a buying opportunity. For now, if you saw, was in the second half, what we saw was profit booking, which was also largely anticipated to quite an extent, because of the kind of run-up we had already witnessed in the past couple of days as well, in the run-up of to the elections verdict 2019. But let's take a step back now, Kshitij, and understand in the last 5 years under Modi Sarkar 1.0, how have the markets really performed? Let's get down to understanding how did the Nifty perform, how did the Sensex perform, and which were the top performing sectors and stocks?
Right. So in fact, for both Sensex and Nifty, if you look at Sensex, we saw 15,000 point of gain, from May 26, 2014 to now. So in fact, it has been you could say a run of record highs for Sensex and Nifty under the Modi rule. Why we say that is because, Sensex was trading around about 26,000. So we saw definitely 30,000 came in, and then 40,000 in today's trading session. So yes, it has been a run of record highs for the Sensex. For Nifty also, Nifty was around about 7,000 odd levels when, Modi 1.0 or Modi government came in on 26 May 2014. And now we saw 12,000 mark. So yes, a 60% kind of gain, which we've seen in benchmark indices. But not just 60%, we're not contented with 60%, but, nearly 200 stocks saw index or the, returns rallying from 100% to 1,000%. And some of the names which we have on the list is, KEI Industries, Bajaj Finance, and Minda Industries. They have in fact rallied more than 1,000%. And stocks which have rallied like 100 to 900% include names like Bajaj Finserv, Tata Metallics, Avanti Feeds, Indiabulls Ventures, IRB Industries, V-Mart, Sonata Software, among others. So there are plenty of mid and small cap names which are really made big in the last 5 years.
Absolutely. But I'll have to ask you about the top performing Nifty and Sensex stocks. How did they really do under Modi Sarkar? And if you could highlight some of the stocks over there as well.
In fact, 1/3 of Nifty 50 and Sensex names,
Yeah.
sort of, more than doubled investors' wealth in the last 5 years. And in fact, they continue to do so because these are blue chip names
Yes.
that we are talking about. In fact, 17 stocks in the Nifty 50 names have actually risen 100 to 1500% in the last 5 years. Now, the top stocks include Ultratech Cement, BPCL, RIL, Asian Paints, Maruti Suzuki, HUL, UPL, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Titan Company, Bajaj Finserv, among others. In fact, when you talk about Sensex, Kotak Mahindra Bank, HUL, HDFC Bank, Maruti Suzuki, Asian Paints are some of the blue chip names that really have done well for investors in the last 5 years. And if you look at the commentary which we're getting from experts, I think most of these names are also good buy for the next 5 years as well.
All right. So the next 5 years is where the question is now, just like how you also pointed out earlier in your answer, that valuations right now look quite stretched. The news and the focus back is now on the fundamentals. It is back on the earnings recovery and the kind of growth we are seeing in the economy. So it will all boil down to that. And tomorrow again will be a day when we will be focusing on all of that. But for now, to end this conversation, I want to ask you, next 5 years for retail investors, what are the stocks and sectors that are going to be important, which we have already seen, like banking stocks,
right,
and FMCG, IT, some of these sectors really perform well under Modi 1.0. Is it going to be the same story, or is it going to be different set of stocks and sectors?
Absolutely, Sakshi. In fact, if I look at top 3 sectors, which have done well or which have given more than 50% kind of a return in the last 5 years, include banking, FMCG and IT. So and the next 2 sectors are basically small and mid cap stocks. Although they've fallen literally in the last 1 or 2 years. But then again, most experts feel that after this recent fall that we have seen, these are at a good valuation point. And in fact, if more the smart money comes in, I think the you could say the better mid cap stocks or stocks which have got the growth potential could actually do well at this point in time. So in talking about literally sectors at this point in time, consumption will do well, banking will do well, definitely, and you could say auto names will also continue to do well. And not to forget, metals could also do well upon that. And not to forget, S&P or select small and mid-cap stocks will anyways do well. But then again, investors have to sort of reach out to experts and get the right quality stocks. Not probably every stock will do well at this point in time. But then again, if you look at for the next 5 years, stay with banking, stay with good private sector banks. That's what most experts are telling at this point in time. NBFCs and FMC consumption will do well at this point in time, and select IT names will also do well.
All right. Thanks a lot then, Kshitij, for sharing all that thoughts with us. And with that, we come to a wrap of this edition. Going forward from here for retail investors, the themes that you have to remember, the sectors that you have to remember is the consumption story, the banking story that has been doing well in Modi 1.0 and is expected to do well under Modi 2.0 as well. Now, these are the sectors that you need to place your bets. However, speak to your financial advisors before picking your select stocks whenever you place your bets there. Thanks a lot for watching, and stay tuned to moneycontrol.com to listen to the top voices which continue to give you some thoughts and opinions about what does Modi 2.0 mean for the India, for economy and for the markets.